because the defense has stopped all their substitutions, you know, and all that stuff, because they don't have time to get to do all that stuff, so no,
Take place, make sure that all your cell phones are on vibrate, or silent, or off. If you must answer your phone, please step outside. If you have a conversation with your neighbor, step outside. If you keep this meeting going, you guys are first event tonight, and I want to go home early.
reason enough to have a short meeting. He scored the first five basketball shot he scored outside. Portion of the game, I'll hit like 2 points. He put a 6 over 16. Oh, that's right. Y'all had a guy 6'6"? Ah, good. Oh, yeah, no, nobody gets. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good answer. That's about 5 times a shot. You can't shoot anything but do a last out of the game. That's the way the Spurs work. Not
I would like to call this meeting to order. Today is Thursday, June the 13th, 2013, at 7 p.m. Our invocation tonight will be given by Ms. Lily Ortiz.
Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Te doy gracias, Señor, en esta noche, Señor, por tenernos aquí a todos nosotros, Señor. Estamos, Señor, con un propósito de venir a tener negocio, Señor, que es para todo el bien del pueblo de Floresville. I thank you, God, for the city council. I speak blessings over all of them. And Lord, bless all of us that are here tonight. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we have established quorum. We have Councilman Miller, Councilman Morones, Councilwoman Castillo, Councilman Guerrero and Councilman Rodriguez. Would everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance and the pledge of allegiance? At this time, do we have any citizens' comments?
I have nothing negative this time.
All right.
About 3 years ago, I volunteered to be president of the Floresville Cemetery Restoration Association. And you know, it's after a couple of reservations, that kind of stuff, I realized I don't need a title, but I still have the interest in the cemetery. And you know, it's never looked better through the Mother's Day and Memorial Day and now Father's Day. People are putting beautiful artificial flowers up there. And that's just, and you know, it's well mowed. All through it, so that's a problem. And there's ID signs, you know, like to show the area so it's easier for people to recognize where their loved ones are buried. And I look forward to really attending budget meetings, which I haven't done before. Various problems I've had. Hopefully I can attend budget meetings as they develop for this coming year. And we need a line budget for the cemeteries. I'll attend as a citizen, and so I look forward to that. Another thing, you know, I was up there about 2 o'clock or a little before, and this well-known citizen of Florida, Miss Cordes, was having perfume, and cars were all over the place. And you know, it seems to me this is a really compliment to Floresville that cemetery looked as good as it did. You know, it brings more people in there, and I think that helps get a little volunteers and that kind of thing. And, you know, God bless the rain and God bless Floresville.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Okay, now we're going to go on to item 1, public hearing to gather citizen input on the voluntary annexation petition for the 15.466 acres of land out of Simon and Arocha, 8 League Grant Abstract 1 in Wilson County, Texas, and a deed of record in volume 1700, page 218, official public records of Wilson County, also commonly known as the McCoy's property. Cindy?
Mayor and Council, this is just a formality. This is the first of 2 public hearings that's required for volunteer annexation. This gives the opportunity for the public, if they want to come forward and say anything.
Mayor, just for the record, could you state the time that the public meeting, the public hearing opens?
Yes, 7:05. Yes. Does anyone want to make any comments on the McCoy's property? Or have any questions?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, you may.
Cindy, I need to ask about this if I may with the council's involvement. As I remember the plan, part of the deal, and I'm going by memory because this is the first time I've seen this in a while, but the description of the area that we're supposed to be annexing is supposed to include all 181 from basically Ropers at the landmark to 130 right there in front of Walmart. And part of our agreement was that the request would include that land area encompassed by both sides of the street. I just want to make sure that's part of it, because I'm not seeing it.
Well, I'm going by the documents that was submitted by the McCoys,
I know.
and their petition clearly says the 15.466 acres.
Which is the immediate acreage that they're on top of.
And this is exactly how they said, McCoy Corporation is the owner of 15.466 acre tract of land located adjacent to the incorporated municipal limits of the city of Floresville.
And I think most of you remember, when I was discussing this before, when we presented the McCoy contract, that request was to include, so that we get that highway area annexed to 181 and extend that entire area. That would give us both sides of 181. We annexed Hughes side the last time, and we went up to McCoy's, to Walmart. We need to get the other side, and part of our agreement was the request, even though they don't own it, would include the annexation of the highway. And we talked with TxDOT, and no objection to it. TxDOT is excited about it because it's no mowing, it gets done for them by the city. But that helps us because of our current status of our annexation scheme. That helps us get that area all into the city successfully. Otherwise, we have one part separated by the roadway instead of including the roadway.
Which would make it non-contiguous with the rest of the city.
Yes, sir.
So we really couldn't do it that way anyway.
Right. So I'm trying to get the whole enchilada there, and I'm suggesting that for the record tonight, we go back to McCoy's, because I think it's pretty clearly stated in our plan that that would be part, in our agreement, that that's part of the application that we made. And it would be without objection from TxDOT for a lot of other reasons. So we can come back to that. I just want to get that in the record, that that's my understanding, and I think that's what the council ought to be hearing tonight. But I didn't get a chance to review this, and I apologize.
I understand, and I have the field notes of the description of the, I have everything here.
Okay.
I have one question on this, and I'm going to go to the city manager on it. We went to a public hearing on this request for annexation. Would the process be to do the public hearings and then come back to the council on that? Or should that have come to the council before the public hearings?
I can answer that, sir.
Okay. I'm just more concerned about the process.
I understand, and I have it right here, because it is quite big. First, the first step is to submit petition, which is what they have done here. The second is to, the city grants a petition for voluntary annexation, which y'all voted on, previous council meetings. And then the third step is to prepare a service plan, which is what we have done and posted on made it available to the public. The fourth is to publish notice of availability, which is what we've done, and then publish notice of the first public hearing is where we're at right now.
But the council approved the contract or the agreement. The council that included the requirement for voluntary annexation. The council has not approved the request for voluntary annexation, which brings this question.
Yes, sir.
We did?
Yes, sir. We'll pull up the agenda in a minute for you on that, but we still need to correct what Bruce brought up on last night.
Okay, so that petition was in a previous council package?
So theoretically, this isn't an appropriate
This is
agenda.
incomplete, that's all I'm getting at. We need to get the part in the road.
So this public hearing theoretically didn't happen.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way, we need to fill in the blank here in the middle. And all I'm trying to do is make sure that we get both sides of the sentence for all the right reasons. Because that was part of our consideration on the entire public. And I think Mr. Hughes, the gentleman that negotiated the agreement.
Phil Hutchinson.
Phil Hutchinson, excuse me. He was well into this, that this was all part of the transaction, and when our highway department people were present, they agreed that we could do it this way, they had no objection to it, just gave us the linkage from there up to that other road, it's 130 on the left, and the other number, 330 on the other side, that goes over to the bridge over the River Kwai, which we're gonna have. think for the purpose of what you have here, the council can approve this, but I'm afraid if you approve it, we won't get the rest of the piece.
No, we gotta do it correct. There's missing pieces. She will have to reschedule, P and Z, a special meeting for it to go then it comes back to the council, not the next council.
Being that it's a public forum, we don't have to table it or anything.
No, but I think we need to make a note of why we're taking the action we are, which is to conclude the hearing or at least request to go back to P and Z.
Okay, Sandy, you taking notes on that? And I'm going to call the public hearing to a close, with the understanding that it will be coming back to P and Z, and then be brought to council for approval. It's 7:13. Now we're going to go on to old business, consideration and action to approve the minutes from May 9, 2013.
Madam Mayor, I want to appreciate make a comment about city staff getting us electronic copies of the meeting minutes in advance of the meeting and having the opportunity to review them and make some corrections. I know Councilman Guerrero made some recommendations that, as well as I, and they were included in these minutes. And as a result, I want to make the motion to approve the minutes from the May 9th regular city council meeting.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Miller. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a second by Councilman Guerrero. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Now let's go on to 2B, consideration and action to approve minutes from May the 23rd, 2013.
Madam Mayor, again reemphasize the process, but no matter how many eyes look at these things, sometimes we miss something. In the first line, it says the city of Floresville held a regular council meeting on 2013. It should reflect May 23rd, 2013. With that amendment, I'll make the motion to approve the meeting minutes from the regular city council meeting on May 23rd, 2013.
Okay, I've got one other correction that I just found prior to the meeting today. On 4K, it's dated June the 23rd, that's a Sunday. It should be what, June the 27th?
The 27th, yes, sir.
If there's no other, I will second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Miller with changes to add May to the top date of the meeting, and Councilman Guerrero's correction on item 4K to change the date of June 23rd to the 27th. All in favor?
Just for the record, Madam Mayor, I'll so amend my motion.
Okay. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, now we're going to have some presentations on item number 3A, Employee of the Month for April 2013 and May 2013. We got behind.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We didn't recognize our Employee of the Month because of the tremendous business that we took care of last month, so we're doubling up this go-around. We have two very worthy city employees that are going to be receiving it. So, Mayor, Council, and fellow citizens, April's Employee of the Month is Joe Daniel Ortiz. Joe has been employed with the city of Floresville since September 1st, 1993, and is currently assigned to the Parks Department. Joe has been one of the hardest working employees the city has been blessed to employ. He is dependable, reliable, and a joy to work with. And this is, I know Joe from work and personally, and I just added my own little deal that his reading skills and sense of humor are sharp and precisely directed. So a round of applause for Joe. May's Employee of the Month is Andrew Barrientos. Andrew has been employed with the city of Floresville since December 15, 2008, and is currently a wastewater operator assigned to the city hall managing a detailed water sewer project. Andrew holds a Class C wastewater license, is preparing for his Class A water license, performs all TCEQ reporting requirements, and instituted a control processing system for the citywide collection. In addition, he has been assisting the controller with financial preparedness of the water sewer budget. A round of applause for Andrew. Can we get him back to hand, Council? Thank you.
Now we're going to go on to item 3B, text dot traffic update by Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and citizens. This is going to be a quick presentation, just an update from my council. Their wishes and their concern is always the citizens of Floresville and what's going on in and around our community. At a council meeting on May 9th, 2013, they brought up the issues to the text dot representative in a manner that they understood that it was a critical issue of safety for citizens. So from that point on May 14th, which is the following week, a directive came out from the Office of the City Manager to our police department to say that all available resources would be focused on traffic safety in and around the points of entry into our city. And they've been doing a good job. If you haven't seen them out there, they've got a speed board. They're out there running traffic. And one of the things that's assisted us at this point in time is that school's out. So the school traffic is not involved. But what does the council want to do, and what have they directed the city manager to do, is to come up with a solution. They had said 45 days, I think, from that meeting. We've made some progress, but we know that it's going to take a little longer. But we want to get something in place before school starts again, so we won't come into the same problem. Wanted to make sure that they understood and that the citizens understood that we are working with TxDOT. We've had several correspondence with them. They are conducting a new speed study from one end of town on 181 to the north to the south end of town. And I had read an email that we received about possibly a super street in that area that would allow traffic to enter the businesses, so they won't lose any businesses, but it would keep the traffic moving in and out of our town. Another issue is we know that they have approved a traffic light at 97 and 181. It's been approved for some time, but they are trying to get that expedited to get that in place. And speed limits was one of the biggest issues that our council said we need to lower that speed limit. So we got to lower that speed limit. They said we need development. In order to slow down the speed. You made a good point, Councilman Miller, on the issue is we've got a Walmart now, and the speed limit is still 70 coming past that light. We're going to have McCoy's, we're going to have some other businesses. That has triggered the issue of it does need to be lowered. So that's one of the things that we're working on. We've got a video that I took, and some of my employees have been honking at me when I've been out there, and people are laughing at me, but I'm videotaping the traffic. So we can have documentation, because we had contacted at the direction of the City Council, Senator Zaffarini's office and Representative Kempel's office, and we're trying to set meetings with those people because they have the power to work with TxDOT, to work with the city. So That's still pending. We've got two, they have a special session, they're in special session for 30 days. So one of the issues that has been slowing the progress that we were anticipating, but Representative Temple has given us 2 dates that he's available, June 24th and 25th. So I want to make sure that the council was aware. If they want to meet with just one, we can do that, June 24th and 25th with Representative Temple, and the public will be invited if the council so wishes. Or we wait till the special session is over and get them both here and start talking about the issues. What's been going on internally, of course, like I said, we directed our police department to be more mindful of the traffic and what's going on in our city and address that. We talked to the sheriff's office, we talked to the DPS individually, but we're gonna try to hold one big meeting so everybody can be on the same page. And we hope our citizens are involved. Can you play that real quick? This is about a, sorry. We're gonna get this going. This is about, I've done about 6 to 8 videos during the traffic, which was the peak traffic hours in Floresville was right after the 4 o'clock hour when the middle school and the high school let out. So we are going to show you a little bit of what the council brought to my attention to say, this is what we're getting from our citizens, this is what we're concerned about our citizens, and this is something that we need to take care of.
June 4, 2013, 4:15.
We're having technical difficulties as usual, but if we can't show you that, it is on my iPad. You're welcome to see it. If not, this will be available when we do have the major meeting with representatives so they can see what's going on. I'll let her continue to work on that, and there we go.
We have an ambulance and some police officers.
4 o'clock, about 4:15, we had an ambulance with police cars at the intersection of 181 and 97 East.
But as you can see, this is 181 North and 97 East. You can see the amount of traffic, all field. You can see the children cross it at the appropriate crosswalks. You can see buses, and then you can see the congestion that the council is extremely concerned about for safety reasons. I will find out what the issue is with the emergency personnel. As you can see, what the issues are that the city council, the city of Floresville are extremely concerned about.
We'll let it play a little bit more so I can show another issue that we got with the lights not being synchronized in our corridor 181. So it backs
This
up.
traffic backup was not caused by the emergency personnel. It was, this is typical what occurs right at the 4 o'clock hour when our middle school and high school let out. There we go, truck, tractor, intersection backed up, because of the synchronization of the lights.
Thank you, Sherry. This goes on all the videos that we've got. There's tremendous traffic, and the safety of the children is the primary focus of our council. So we want to make sure that we have documentation to present at those meetings. And, any questions on that?
Andy, I believe that this is such an important issue that
But I think it's gonna be very difficult to get both the senator and the representative together. But I would like to ask if perhaps we can meet with them individually, if at all possible, if we cannot get them together.
Sure, that's up to the council, you can give us direction, like I said, he's available June 24th or 25th if we can have him. And we've got substantial documentation, video documentation, please don't laugh at my narrating and my video taking, I'm trying to do the best I can.
Andy, did we make any headway? I know with the voluntary annexation piece going up to 130, we'll be able to get that speed limit to 55 at the city limits on the north side of town. That's an easy issue once we complete this piece there. But on 97 East going towards Stockdale, that citation I gave you in the speed limit guide that talks about where you have that high opportunity for pedestrian traffic or bicycle traffic, which is clearly out there, that we can get the speed limit reduced by 10 miles an hour. Have you made any headway with TxDOT on that?
Yes, we have, and they just completed, and they've done that in Atascosa, Pleasanton, and Durban area already, so we are moving forward, we are making some headway. We hope that the initial meeting with the representative will make sure that it solidifies that and that we can move quickly in that direction.
Did they give you any guidance on what we have to do to request that of them? Does it need to be a formal council request?
Yes, yes, you have the power, I don't, to be able to say, you know, these are the issues, we've got the documentation, we're doing all the legwork, but we will have to come to you and say, you know, resolution wise to say, you know, we are lowering our speed limits, or we want our speed limits lowered for the city of Floresville.
Well, I think that the 181 North issue is going to be self-correcting with the voluntary annexation. The next real high priority that everybody has discussed is the 97 East. And as such, I'm going to request that you put that resolution on the next council meeting, that whatever verbiage we need to have so that you have the ammunition to go to TxDOT to say that this is a formal request of the council.
Excellent, we'll do that.
And that meeting would be the 24th or the 25th, do you know?
You give us a date that you want to, and you said be available, correct?
I'll be out of town on the 24th, but I don't know how the rest of the council,
I'm available
the
either day.
25th.
What time is that going to be in? Do you know, during the day?
Sherry, what time?
June 25th is going to be on a Tuesday.
Yes, it's either a Monday or a Tuesday, and he's available both days, all day, so we can come up with something collectively, and then I can post a meeting notice. I just need to know ahead of time if more than a couple of y'all are gonna be there, then I'll post a notice, that way it's gonna be a workshop.
Well, I think we need to do this as a public forum so that we notify the community piece of that. So it's more than just the council talking to our representative. And in our discussion on this item, Andy, I would like to invite the local law enforcement officials, our sheriff, our DPS representative, and our police chief to participate in that open forum.
Okay, we'll do. Yes.
Okay, now we're going to go on to item 3C, code compliance, weedy lots.
Another issue that was brought forward by the council as a area of concern, Councilman Guerrero was one that had talked about this, Mayor Garza has been another, and of course all our council take note of the issues that we got. It's funny that they had, not funny, but something that they had brought up, and I was down in Alice visiting my folks, and I looked at the newspaper, and it says, on the local newspaper, a growing problem, shows a picture of the grass growing. Where officials implement property cleanup procedures, and then the Alice paper also, city spreads a word on growing great neighborhoods. One of the issues that the council had said, this is an issue that we have to address, but we don't want to come out and be an enforcement action right away. We want education, we want time for notification of our citizens to be able to work that into their schedule if they work, or if they need assistance to be able to get some assistance to do that. So I wanted to put this on the council agenda. I asked for this to be on the council agenda so we could utilize our local media, make sure that they assist us and say, this is something that the council wants to look at, and city staff is looking at. I know that Cindy Nichols has sent out how many letters on? About 10 weedy lot letters. And another issue that we ask the citizens, if you've got an area that you're concerned about that doesn't belong to you, that you may know who it belongs to, if you talk to them and they don't comply, maybe you can notify the city or the council members. I know the mayor drives around and she's been bringing in addresses of areas that need to be addressed. So she can send out the notification, because awareness is the first step. We want to make sure that the citizens are aware that there is an issue, because they may not know that there's an issue on the deal. So, City of Floresville Ordinance Chapter 92, nuisance, is an area of our ordinance book that deals with overgrown lots. And that's something that when she notifies them, she cites that, she tells them that they have 10 days to comply, that within 5 days, if they have an issue, that they need more time, that they just need to contact you and let you know. One of the things that I know that we've talked, the council has brought to my attention, says, Andy, you need to work on your follow-up procedures. Because yes, she sends a notice, but if you don't know, Cindy Nichols is our permit, she's our building person, she's our plan review, she's one person in that deal. And in the newspaper articles, they cite their code compliance department, it's got 3 people or 4 people or 5 people in there. That's something that I'm gonna bring to the council. They've requested in a directive from you, goals that they've said, and that's to review each staff that I've got, staff employee, and maybe reassign, reorganize to be able to accommodate that area that we may be a little weak in. So she's doing an excellent job, but we are following up on that. We looked at what the other cities were doing, and they're utilizing their law enforcement personnel. Once Cindy sends out that letter that 10 days is over with, and we don't want to write them a ticket, it sure does help to send a policeman over there, nice, courteous policeman like the young lady that's sitting there, to say, hey, we're sending a letter, you're not complying, you're going to receive a citation if you don't do that. And then we've taken that extra step to allow people some time. Once that's done, then enforcement may be the only option that we have. Another area that they're doing is, if it happens that we can't find the owner, letters have been sent, no response, the city staff will mow it, trim the trees or do whatever, and build up an invoice and then file that towards that property, correct? So, thinking right of the staff that we've got, our police officers, I know that our administration and our police department is always available to assist, so I'm going to assign them those duties. One, it helps our chief, our lieutenants, and our office personnel some exposure in a positive way to the citizens to say, I'm the chief of police, I'm here, you can send a letter, but what can we do to help you, or what do you need help on? And get him some exposure out in our town, but he's doing a service with us. The lieutenants also are gonna be doing that. So that's another avenue of approach that I'm taking as far as staff goes.
How do you identify where to start, or, because I know that the last time they were doing this, that's just people that were talking, saying that they were just hitting a certain area and other areas they weren't. So how does the code compliance work?
Initially a complaint.
It's a complaint. So are we gonna wait on complaints, or are they gonna go as a?
Yeah, it's normally been done, and you are correct, Councilman, that it's always been on a call basis, a complaint basis. Now we react, we're gonna be proactive now. And what the other cities are doing is they're actually sitting with their staff and dividing the town, like we talked about everything else, to say, this quarter, we're gonna concentrate on this area, or this week, this area, and make sure that we make rounds through our whole city.
And then on the prices, what would be the highest, or what would be the low? Do we have prices to where, if the fines to where, if a certain house has, do you fine them the same amount, all of them, or, if you go out and send somebody to cut it, but they don't wanna, agree with it, are their prices set to fine them?
The ordinance itself does have a specific fine to it that's imposed.
The amount?
They have fines, yes, sir.
So theoretically, the cost of the van time could exceed the fine?
Yes, if we have to do it, depending on how many people, what equipment, how long it takes and stuff like that.
Well, I just want it to be kind of even with everybody, because I know that the program we have for to beautify Floresville, it started at one side of the city, and that's what I was targeting.
Sure.
Andy, what about abandoned homes? Do we follow the same procedure?
Yes, every procedure that's, it starts at the tax office, correct? These that were listed on the, on that property.
Tax rate.
Andy, one of the things that we talked about when Councilman Guerrero first brought this up, and you're headed down the right road of this, is giving them an opportunity to fix the problem. And although not in our current contract, it certainly would be a good community service if we could engage Republic to do a summer, springtime cleanup where they could do a one-day pickup sort of thing for things that they would normally not pick up. And maybe it could be a cooperative agreement between Republic and the city. Has that been looked at yet, or have we gotten any kind of information back from Republic as to what they're going to charge? Could they do it? When could it be done?
We actually did meet with them, Sherry, Monday?
This Monday.
This Monday, the representative came in and we had some issues. Our controller is very good at looking at numbers and saying, why does this cost so much? How can we lower it, or what the issue was? And it was brought up right at when we were discussing, we took care of those things. We did discuss the issue of the council's wishes to assist the citizens more in that area. So we're awaiting his response on that.
So that could be something that we could have midsummer as and use the media to publicize that this event is occurring, but also, here's the ordinance, here's the fines, here's what you could be subject to if we don't get it picked up.
That's correct, yes.
And Andy, to add to that the businesses are not exempt. They're also going to be included in this cleanup.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to go on to item 4A, consideration and action to approve the contract for delinquent court fees, any fines, collection services. Andy?
I'm back. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is going to be a presentation by the firm, just tell me the name.
500 Broadway, Blair.
Long name. I have that information, yes, but it's hard for me to pronounce that name, believe it or not. I have met with the representative. The contracts were sent to legal for review, and they're going to do a presentation on this matter, and we'll take them. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're not going to be approving the contract since we haven't seen it yet.
It was in the package.
No, this was in the package, but the contract, the dollar figures on the contract.
Okay, the presentation will bring some light to that on that here, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Goslin. Mayor Doxa, council members, city staff, members of the public, good evening. My name is Jeff Garcia. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Linebarger and Goggin. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to also introduce somebody who's with me tonight, who's a crucial part of our team out of the Austin office, and her name is Ms. Roche Chapa. She is the partner in charge for all of the taxing entities that we collect for in Wilson County, which is all of them. She'll be also assisting me tonight in this presentation. Just a little bit about ourselves. Number one, my name is Jeff Garcia again, and Roche and I are out of the Austin office. Our law firm has been collecting government receivables for almost 40 years. We have 43 offices in 12 different states. 30 of those offices are right here in the state of Texas. We employ over 1,000 collection professionals and 100 attorneys. Currently, we have over 2,000 governmental clients, including 100 municipal courts that we collect for here in the state of Texas. Since the inception of our law firm, Austin has always been the headquarters for our law firm, and even though We are a Texas law firm with national resources. We are no stranger to the city of Floresville. We have proudly represented the city of Floresville since 1978 in the collection of property taxes. And Rashay has overseen the collections for the past 12 years out of those since 1978. Why are we here tonight? Number one, because of our close and successful relationship with the city and the collection of delinquent property taxes, we approached the municipal court to offer our services in providing another tool, collection tool, which is the collection of outstanding municipal court cases. Now, what does that mean? Or how does that important to the city of Floresville? Recently, the city municipal court has seen an increase of over 80% in traffic citation cases coming before them here in the past year or so. Now, even though the majority of the people who do get tickets are very responsible and take care of their tickets with the court, they will not be seeing any of our collection efforts. What we are addressing are those who ignore court orders or summons to appear before the court, or those who ignore the court orders as far as paying out what is owed on the citations that they receive. So that's what we're here for tonight. Now, how did the Texas legislature address this whole issue as far as helping out cities and counties collect these outstanding municipal collections? In 2003, the Texas legislature created Section 103.0031 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. That section of the code created what is called an add-on 30% fee. In other words, what that means is all outstanding municipal court cases subsequent to 2003, the legislature allowed for counties and cities to go ahead and contract with third-party collection agencies, and to pay those agencies, what is allowed is a 30% add-on fee to the actual total amount of what's owed in the citation of the defendant. The cases must be 60 days past due, and again, subsequent to 2003, that is including all adjudicated and non-adjudicated cases. However, prior to 2003, the law only allows for adjudicated accounts to be added on at 30%. We are proposing to the city of Floresville that all prior to 2003 unadjudicated cases, we will actually be doing that service for the city at zero cost to the defendant who may have a citation. Currently, in speaking with city staff at the municipal court, there's roughly over 300,000 in outstanding citations and court cases that are due to the city of Floresville, and we would like to offer our services to try to help collect the majority of that. An important thing, who pays for this service? The delinquent defendant pays for this 30% add-on fee. Let's take an example. If the defendant who receives a $100 citation fails to appear, doesn't go to court, that $100 citation then becomes, if it's turned over to us for collections, it becomes $130 that's owed. We collect that $130 for the city, we remit it back to the city, and then after we show the reports that we generate every week to the city, it's up to the city to decide whether or not they will pay us that extra $30 add-on fee. So again, the important thing here is that the judge remains complete control over all of the accounts that are turned over to us for collections. This is at zero cost to the city. This is really what's important, why the legislature created it. It's at zero cost to the city and to the taxpayers. This is meant to be paid by the criminal defendant who failed to appear at court. Also, part of our packages, we will also be covering the cost of implementing the software connection between your current court software provider, Encode, and what it would take for us to connect to that to start working with the city. We are going to cover the cost of that as part of our package. Again, the benefits of accepting this collection program is that the municipal judge retains complete control of what is turned over to us, and the 30% add-on fee. Also, this brings an additional revenue to the city at zero cost to the city and to taxpayers. And again, as you all are aware of, the recent economic downturn, most government entities don't have the resources right now to hire additional city staff to try to collect these outstanding fees. So that's where we come in to provide the manpower and the ability to add on our tools of collection to this program to get this outstanding revenue that is due to the city. We would be honored to represent the city in the collection of municipal court cases and help collect outstanding revenue that is due to the city. At this point, if you have any questions, I'll be more than honored to answer them.
Do you know how many delinquent cases we currently have?
I believe the municipal judge has that current information for you.
Yeah, I'm real interested in what the total numbers are here, and what they have been, you know, as a percentage of fines, what percent is delinquent?
What we have outstanding in warrants right now is over $300,000 in outstanding cases, active warrants, and warrants to be issued, and that's over 300.
Well, I'm concerned about it as a percentage. Now, $300,000 is an impressive number, Judge, but of the total.
I'd have to run some reports to have the issued.
Okay. I would like to see those numbers to see what we're actually looking at as a percentage of the piece. The second question I have, you made the comment that it was up to the city would decide if you got your 30% or not. But when I read this sample contract, by contract, we're agreeing to pay you that 30%.
The 30% is an add-on fee, so if the accounts are turned over to us for collection, that fee is added on, so the city would get all of their money if we collect it, and we would get our percentage. So, as Jeff said, if you had a $100 citation, when it's turned over to us for collection, after it qualifies, after it's 60 days, and the correct sums are sent, and they ignore it, then the fee becomes $130, and that's issued out to the defendant. You get your 100, we get our 30, and that is, that if you hire us, that is the
So the judge would get